Hi, I'm Kevin Hill, and today we're going to do another fun painting. So let's get started. With our 2-inch brush and a little bit of black and yellow and white. Let's just add back here a little bit of a soft glow. You see this is hardly shows up at all, and that's good. That's about all we want. Just tinting this area. Maybe we'll do a forest today, and some of this area will show through. And I want it to have a beautiful tint. I'm going to use a little more yellow in certain areas, maybe a little more yellow up here, just to change it up. Back to the gray, maybe a little more gray over here. Next, we'll load up our filbert brush with a very, very soft gray color, and then wipe it on a paper towel so that we don't have too much. And I'm going to drop in some very, very faint tree trunks back here, just like this. And as you can see, I did a little bit more up here. I just took the brush after I was done and I just started tapping randomly. What that did was just sort of set me up for this step. It kind of looks like distant leaves and stuff like that. Nothing complicated. Very, very random. Okay. Now these tree trunks back here are very interesting. They really just help to add overall detail to the painting. There's one. Just throw them in wherever you think they would enhance the painting. There. And you could use your little synthetic flat brush if you want. That would be great here. Just whatever you want to use. Filbert works pretty well for this, I think. There. Nice and loose. Most of this will get covered up by trees in front. Next, we'll drop on some beautiful leaves to the trees up here, closer to the top. Now this time I have the filbert brush and I'm just smudging around to give myself a very, very nice loose indication of leaf clumps. And look, this background we put in, leave it showing through, because that way you'll have more detail in the painting. And of course, all of this is going to get covered by trees and stuff, and only certain parts will show through. But what shows through will, oh, it'll be so nice. It'll look detailed and look like you spent forever, even though we put it in very loosely. We do it loose because we know most of it's covered. So why bother? Why bother spending all day on something that gets covered up? And just have fun with it and be loose. And as you can see, I did a quick sketch like we enjoy doing so often. Maybe there's a little bit there. We'll worry about that later. I just love this idea of having a kind of a tree-covered forest. We'll do some trees with a lot of character. Now with our filbert brush, some green, brown, black, a little bit of light color laying around. Right in this area. I'm going to do a huge old, maybe this is an oak tree. I'm guessing that it is. Something like that at least. But it's going to be real big. Real big, and maybe we got a limb here, maybe a limb here. All right. And this is one of the last steps we're going to do before I show you something really fun. We'll get to that in just a second. Next, I'll load up our 3/4 inch brush with some yellow and white and kind of draw it out to a chisel point. And all right, you ready for this? Let's start right here. It'll be easy. This is an easy spot, so I'm going to cut in. Oh, and we're going to drag right across everything like that. Wipe the brush on a paper towel, and then continue. I like to lay down a little bit of paint, and with very little pressure, drag it across. Oh, look at that. And even the bristles separated there, and it gave me kind of an individual effect, which I think is really cool. Okay. Oh yeah, look at that. This brush is very soft. Now we may, and we probably will, get out the blender brush here in a minute and just soften these. But we may not, we'll see. We'll see how easy they go in. Now, I did wipe this area very carefully, very lightly with a paper towel to remove the little bits of paint on the surface that were not worked well into the canvas, because those would have smeared a lot. Now with our filbert brush and a little bit of green, yellow, and white, we're going to go ahead and drop in some beautiful leaves up here to this tree. Now these are going over the sun rays. See, the sun rays are peeking through the leaves. And I do want to leave a lot of all of the detail that I put in back here. All the variations in color. I don't want to cover them up, because if you cover them up, you're left with a flat little painting. I want to grab your attention with the light, and I want to hold your attention with all the little variations that you'll see in here. So there's going to be a lot. I'm going to try to put in a lot of different color tones of green and such. There. Very soft and hazy. Now over here, we can also put on just some little grass and things growing here at the bottom. You can drag just a little bit of green on the tree, because if it's got moss, it's very wet in here. See, you got all sorts of options. Now with some black and green on the filbert brush, let's drop in a beautiful clump of leaves that sort of hangs right through the painting. Something about like this. Maybe it comes down like this, down here. Just using the side of the brush and shaping it, creating a lot of beautiful loose details. Maybe it's connected to a tree that we'll put in later. With our filbert brush and some black, loaded evenly on both sides. All right, let's start right here, and maybe just drop in a huge tree, a beautiful tree. And of course, we got to have a root that sticks all the way out to the water. Of course, we'll paint that over, but we'll put it back in. I just wanted to map it out and make sure I like the location. This is not nearly thick enough. I'm going to go so thick on this tree, because this is what's going to give this painting some character. Make that branch come all the way out. We'll do something over there, maybe add more leaves or whatever we want to do. There. It's a lot of fun. Maybe we need another one. That one was so much fun. Got to do another one. Just make them huge. Just make them huge. That's what's so exciting about them. That's what really makes your painting effective. I mean, let's make that thing so thick that it just looks like an old oak tree. We've been here forever. Now with our filbert brush and a beautiful soft yellow-green color, I'm going to go ahead and underpaint this water down here. Now I'm going to just do most of it in this color, at least back here, because that represents the colors above it. It reflects. The water always reflects what's above it. I'm going to put some brown down here in the foreground, because this area we're looking straight down into the water and we don't get as much reflection, and we can actually see the wet sand underneath the water. And then as you go back, it transitions into the reflection color again. That's what gives your water amazing depth, and it gives it a very realistic look. With our fan brush, we'll tap right through some green, yellow, maybe a touch of red just to dull it down. And I think this will be our first highlight color. I'm even going to go up the tree. We've done mossy trees in the past. Oh, they're fun. Have that moss grow up the tree like that. I hope you can just barely see this. Shouldn't be too bright, because, as you know, we're going to come back and put a beautiful, stunning, bright highlight on here. Now with our fan brush and a beautiful yellow-green color, we're going to go ahead and make this painting super exciting. So maybe right here, just start tapping, and look at that. Isn't that great? Just tap and touch and allow this bright color to really sparkle up the whole mood of the painting. Right there. But you want to limit it. It's so easy to go overboard when you do this. And it does take practice to know when to stop. I do think we want some back here. Definitely some out here, but not as vibrant. Nothing can be as vibrant as this area. Next, with our 3/4 inch synthetic brush, we'll just draw it to a nice sharp point. Got a little bit of yellow, touch of brown and white. Let's go ahead and use this to just drop on some beautiful highlight here. Need a little more paint on the brush. If it didn't come off, load a little more. But always try to use those little paint as possible. Always makes things easier if you have very little paint, because it won't pull off the underpainting so much. If you have very little underneath, it'll take very little to cover it up. You're a lot safer. There we go. Beautiful. Add all sorts of textures and things. These trees are old. Next, with a nice dark brown color, we're just going to shape a couple of rocks down here. Just do it quickly with this little 3/4 inch brush. There. See? Very quick. Don't spend too much time on this. Just no need. And some can have a brighter highlight than others. Just using a lot of the random colors that are laying around on my palette at this point. Now we can add on some beautiful details here using the liner brush. Just drop in some nice little branches, very fine ones. Makes it look so detailed and so realistic. There. Look at the beautiful contrast you get with the dark limbs over the light areas. All right, well, I think we're done. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. Don't forget to check out my website, my DVDs, and also my brush line. And thanks for watching.